FBISD is treating kids very harshly.
11-year-old Daniel Bean wanted to come out in the frigid weather. The elementary school student had even scribbled his protest on a piece of school notebook paper.
But now they just suddenly want us to rezone to like the school I don't want to go to.
Wow, what a bully this kid is, don't you think? Fort Bend School Board member Kristen Taussand thinks so. Taussand took to Facebook ranting the Riverstone students and parents who took their frustrations about rezoning public, quote, have chosen to harass and bully trustees into cowering to their will.
I mean, I want to go to the same school as my sisters.
How dare you, Daniel? Actually, Mrs. Taussand, in case you forgot, you're a public servant elected to work for these annoying parents and taxpayers. And why the hate? Wouldn't you fight for your own kids this hard?
I'm Kristen Taussand, and I think it's time we had real leaders who plan for our future and protect our families.
Taussand's attack on our call for her to step down after, as a result, set off a social media war. Quoting, "If anyone is a bully in this situation," one parent wrote, "she is, not the parents trying to keep their kids with their friends." But one parent called me a, quote, grandstanding schmuck. I was raised Jewish, so I get the Yiddish insult. Another called me a, quote, noxious blowhard. Guess you gotta be real careful reading little kids' protest signs. I want to see this sign. I want to continue going to the same school as my friends. That's what this is about. Dolce Vino Consulting had been hired by these parents to get the answers Fort Bend ISD has been keeping from them. And we asked for records. Quoting, "I seriously don't understand," one parent wrote, "how public information costs taxpayers money." The Taussand Post actually claimed asking for public information would somehow financially keep FBISD from educating kids. Are you kidding? That's not only false, it represents an absolute ignorance of the open records law, the public right to know.
One Riverstone!
One Riverstone!
One Riverstone!
One Riverstone!
This time, the growing fight in the Sugarland area is over planned rezoning from Fort Settlement Middle School over to First Colony.
Rezoning for no reason, no data. What is the motive behind it? We don't know, but they are constantly attacking our kids, constantly moving them around.
Funny, months ago, even Taussand had questioned the changing enrollment numbers from the folks at FBISD who we pay to supposedly be experts at this stuff.
I think the information I was going off of last month sounds like it really wasn't accurate.
In November, the district told parents they could stand down. Look at this email. Quoting, "We'll need to delay boundary planning in this area until we have a clear path forward." Flash forward just 3 short months. February, a sudden vote without the proper public warning that they were moving forward. The superintendent's email the following day just made it worse. Quoting, "Since we will be operating on a tight time frame, we'll have limited community engagement." And now the superintendent says we don't have time for a lot of input. That's not the way this works. And they wonder why so many of these parents and taxpayers think FBISD is tone deaf.
I think that we should postpone this. I think that our board should not act unilaterally and make decisions without community input, because ultimately the people that are stressed the most by it are our children.
But when Kristen Taussand attacked these moms and dads on social media after they came out in the cold, she may have reignited a deeper conversation they have to have in Fort Bend. Let's call it the elephant in the room. Last December, Taussand's Facebook comments on religion made the rounds. Quoting, "So Islam doesn't believe Jesus is who he says he is," which means Islam also believes Jesus is a liar. Let's face it, folks. Riverstone is an exceptionally diverse religious community, a microcosm, really, of a changing Fort Bend County, now more than 80% non-white, a growing number of folks who aren't Christian.
This week, a Fort Bend County family woke up to find a letter posted right on their front door saying minorities need to get out of Texas.
Yet, look at the Fort Bend School Board. 5 of the 6 board members are white. A U.S. Department of Education investigation last year questioned Fort Bend ISD on civil rights.
Fort Bend ISD crews came across the burial site months ago while building a new technical school.
Then that controversy over the cemetery where blacks forced into labor were buried. It was found during school construction. I bet you agree. The skin color of a public official shouldn't matter one bit. Their religious choice, not one bit. But words do matter, and transparency is very important here. Not after the fact, but before it. The Fort Bend ISD has blown this process. They need to delay this whole thing. Start over if they have to. It's not the parents' fault. The school district has bad planning, bad numbers. It's why Kristen Tossan really owes these people an apology, even if she is a little annoyed. These folks have an absolute right to fight for their kids. They've invested a lot in their homes and in their families on the promise they'd have neighborhood schools.
I recently had a Fort Settlement father tell me that his son asked him, his 6th grader asked him, "Well, Dad, with all this going on, should I make friends?"
The school district can't be arrogant. We see it all over the Houston area. These school districts forget who really is important here. It's not these guys in this building. They work for them.